Class 10, today we are going to start with this chapter, Bholi. See, Bholi is a story about a small village girl. Now, before we start with the chapter, we all understand the life in an urban and in a rural area is totally different. The upbringing of the children, the lifestyle, the way they are brought up, their learning, their education, the norms, it's totally different, right? Now, this is a story about a simpleton. I'm using the word simpleton because people used to consider a simple fool girl. Somewhere because this little girl was somewhere unfortunate, she was not beautiful, somewhere she was not even completely mentally developed, she was not as wise as the other girls of her age. So she was given the name of Bholi. Bholi, we understand, is a Hindi term which simply means a person who is devoid of any worldly understandings and cleverness. So she was a simple girl, and because this girl was not beautiful, and when she was very small, she fell off the cot and she got a injury because of which she was not developed mentally also completely. Now, this is a brief life story of this girl. What happened? Her parents, being in the village, they very well knew that her education was not going to be a good one. But then they were concerned about her marriage, what would happen to her life, like all the parents are for their children. But children which are devoid of something, somewhere the God has not given them the things or the abilities which other humans or other girls of their age have, there the concern of the parents is much more, right? So this is a story about this girl Bholi. Let's read out and find what the story is about. Sia, Sehaj, are you ready to read it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. From her very childhood, Bholi was neglected at home. Why did her teacher take special interest in her? Did Bodhi measure up to her teacher's expectations? Why is Bholi's father worried about her? For what unusual reasons is Bodhi sent to school? Let's start reading. Sej, please start reading.
Yes, ma'am. Her name was Sulekha, but since her childhood, everyone had been calling her Bholi, the simpleton. She was the fourth daughter of Nambardar Ramlal. When she was 10 months old, she had fallen off the cot on her head and perhaps it had damaged some part of her brain. That was why she remained a backward child and came to be known as Bholi, the simpleton. At birth, the child was very fair and pretty, but when she was 2 years old, she had an attack of smallpox. Only the eyes were saved, but the entire body was permanently disfigured by deep black pock marks. Little Sulekha could not speak till she was 5, and when at last she learned to speak, she stammered. The other children often made fun of her and mimicked her. As a result, she talked very little. Ramlal had 7 children, 3 sons and 4 daughters, and the youngest of them was Bholi. It was a prosperous farmer's household, and there was plenty to eat and drink. All the children except Bholi were healthy and strong. The sons had been sent to the city to study in school and later in colleges. Of the daughters, Radha, the eldest, had been married. The second daughter, Mangla's marriage had also been settled, and when that was done, Ramlal would think of the third Champa. They were good looking, healthy girls, and it was not difficult to find bridegrooms for them. But
Okay,
Ramlal
Sej,
was very
Sej, please take a pause. Take a pause here. Now, the beginning itself, we are introduced to this girl Bholi, whose actual name was Sulekha, right? But she was called Bholi because she was very innocent. She was innocent like a fool. She was like a simpleton. So she was given this name known as Bholi. Was the fourth daughter of Nambardar Ramlal. So her father was a Nambardar. Sorry, Nambardar, we understand it's a position in the administrative work, right? So he was a Nambardar and his name was Ramlal. Bholi was the fourth daughter. Now, Bholi, when she was, as I told you in the introduction itself, when she was very small, she was just a little baby of 10 months old. She fell off the cot, because of which she got a head injury and which damaged some part of her brain. As a result, she remained a backward child and came to be known as Bholi the simpleton. Now, she was very fair and pretty when she was born, but when she was two, she had an attack of smallpox. With time, her smallpox was cured, but the marks, that deep black pock marks, they remained on her face and throughout her body, over her body throughout, right? So she was now ugly looking. She was not wise. She was not like the other children of her age. And she was not able to speak till the time she was 5. So she stammered. We understand what is stammering, not able to speak properly, where the children basically they are stop in between, then they take up the word again. That's stammering. So she stammered. So other children generally, they made fun of her and they mimicked her. Now Ramlal had 7 children. He had 3 sons and 4 daughters, and the youngest of them was Holi. Holi was the youngest of all. Now it was a prosperous farmer's household. He was a prosperous farmer. He had everything and there was plenty to eat and drink. All the children except Bholi were healthy and strong. So all the children except Bholi were healthy. The sons had been sent to the city to study in schools and later in colleges. So we understand that the importance of education now in the rural areas, has people have also started understanding how much education is important. So now people, you will definitely surely find schools in villages and people sending their children to school because they understand at an age, if they want their child to grow and develop, by all means, he or she, it's important for the child to attain education, right? So Ramlal, being a farmer, but he was a prosperous one. He was a rich, wealthy man. He had 7 children, and he sent his sons, 3 of their sons, to the cities to attain education, and then later on to the colleges too. So the sons had been sent to the city to study in the schools and later in colleges. Of the daughters, Radha, the eldest, had already been married. The second daughter, Mangla's marriage had also been settled. And when that was done, Ramlal would think of the third, Champa. Now, one daughter was already married, second was about to get married. Now he was looking for a match for the third daughter, Champa. And 3 of them, they were good looking, healthy girls, and it was not difficult to find bridegrooms for them. But Ramlal was worried about Bholi because she was not good looking, she was not wise, she was not mentally developed, and she stammered. She had neither good looks nor intelligence. Let's continue, please.
But Ramlal was worried about Bholi. She had neither good looks nor intelligence. Bholi was 7 years old when Mangla was married. The same year, a primary school for girls was opened in their village. The Tehsildar Sahib came to perform its opening ceremony. He said to Ramlal, "As a revenue official, you are the representative of the government in the village, and so you must set an example to the villagers. You must send your daughters to school." That night, when Ramlal consulted his wife, she cried, "Are you crazy? If the girls go to school, who will marry them?" But Ramlal had not the courage to disobey the Tehsildar. At last, his wife said, "I will tell you what to do. Send Bholi to school. As it is, there is a little chance of her getting married. With her ugly face and the lack of sense, let the teachers at school worry about her." The next
See,
day,
this is just wait, please wait now. Um, this is actually, we somewhere we come to understand the mentality of the people of the villages at that time. Education had attained its importance, as I stressed upon it in that previous discussion. But girls' education was not there till then. As it is clearly mentioned here, now, because this person, Ramlal, he himself was in an official, in an administrative position. He was a nambardar, right? So one day it happened uh, that Tehsildar Sahib, he came to perform the opening ceremony of a primary school for girls in the village. So a primary school for girls was opened in the village, and Tehsildar came here. So he told Ramlal that because you yourself are a revenue official, you should set an example for the villagers. You must send your daughters to school, right? It was a very, very generous and a very noble advice given to Ramlal by Tehsildar, right? But when he discussed the same thing with his wife was of the opinion, or we can say that was perhaps the mindset of the society at that time, that if girls are sent to school, then who would marry them? Because they would take up that the girls who are going to school, they would become active or they would become clever, then nobody is going to marry them, right? So that was somewhere the society, the mentality, the thoughts, how they lived and what notions they had in their mind, that is clear to us. So the girls' education was not at all there. And perhaps people think in a very backward manner that the girls going to school would not get married. Nobody would be willing to get married to a girl who was going to school. So now Ramlal was actually it was in a very state where he was stuck. He felt confused because the Tehsildar had told him to do so. He was on a better position than him. He could not deny him, right? But at the same time, just a second, please give me a pause for a moment. There is some disturbance. What suggestion does Ramlal's wife gives him? He tells him that okay, if you cannot deny the Tehsildar, you can do one thing. Let's not send Champa. Champa was the third daughter. So he says, let's not send our other daughters to school. We'll send Bholi. Otherwise, also, she's ugly. She is not wise, right? So let the teachers worry about her. Let her send to school. So it was basically just to get rid of her. So we somewhere this attitude of the mother is also very weird, not acceptable. Mothers are perhaps the most concerned ones, right? We find her that she was of the opinion that because we cannot do anything about this girl, she's ugly looking, she's not wise, she stammers, so who is going to marry her? So let's send her to school because let the teachers worry about her. It will be like reducing their burden, right? So let's continue from here. The next day,
The next day, Ramlal caught Bholi by the hand and said, "Come with me, I will take you to school." Bholi was frightened. She did not know what a school was like. She remembered a few days ago their old cow, Lakshmi, had been turned out of the house and sold. No, 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 she shouted in terror, and she pulled her hand away from her father's grip. "What's the matter with you, you fool?" shouted Ramnath. "I am not only taking you to school." Then he told his wife, "Let her wear some decent clothes today, or else what will the teachers and the other schoolgirls think of us when they see her?" New clothes had never been made for Bholi. The old dresses of her sister were passed on to her. No one cared to mend or wash her clothes, but today she was lucky to receive a clean dress which had shrunk after many washing and had no longer fitted Champa. She was even bathed, and oil was rubbed into her dry and matted hair. Only then did she begin to believe that she was being taken to a place better than her home. When they reached the school, the children were already in their classrooms. Ramlal handed over his daughter to the headmistress. Left alone, the poor girl looked about her with fear-laden eyes. There were several rooms, and in each room girls like her squatted on mats, reading from books and writing on slates. The headmistress asked Boli to sit down in a corner in one of the classrooms.
Okay, wait, please. Now, again, the behavior of the family is told in these lines. When the girl was told by her father to that they were going to school, and her father held her hand to take her to school. The girl Bholi realized that just few days back, the cow of the house, Lakshmi, she was pulled in the same manner and she was dragged out of the house. She was sold in the market. So perhaps the girl also had the same thought in her mind that she was being turned out of the house, right? It was only when she was given ironed and clean clothes to wear. She never get new clothes. All her old clothes of her sisters were passed on to her, and that too they were untidy. They were never ironed. Nobody bothered to wash her clothes or to make up her hair. We find the parents being very who had the feeling, who always didn't cared of this girl. This doesn't happen actually. I mean, do you really feel so? In no matter, even if the child is distorted or he's handicapped, even rather we find the parents more concerned about the child. In this story we find the parents being very much careless or unconcerned for this child, right? So now this was for the first time when she got a clean iron dress, though it was a used one of her sister Champa. Now because it has shrunk, it was washed so many times and the dress had shrunk that it didn't fit Champa anymore, but it was well fitted to Bholi, and it was clean and iron, and her hair were oiled and properly made. So she got the feeling that now yes, she was going to a better place than home, right? So when they reached the school, the children were already in their classrooms. Ramlal handed over his daughter to the headmistress. Here also one point we need to note here, as mentioned here, that they gave her, they dressed her properly so that people would not think bad about Ramlal and his family. So they were not concerned about the girl, about the child. They were concerned about their status and their reputation in the society. So Ramlal handed over his daughter to the headmistress. Left alone, the poor girl looked about her with her fear-laden eyes. There were several rooms, and in each room, girls like her squatted on mats. There were many rooms, and in every room, girls were sitting on the mats, reading from books or writing on slates. The headmistress asked Bholi to sit down in a corner in one of the classrooms. So, in one of the classrooms, she was made to sit down, right where the girl sat. Let's continue, please.
Bholi did not know what exactly a school was like or what happened there, but she was glad to find so many girls almost of her own age present there. She hoped that one of these girls might become her friend. The lady teacher who was in the class was saying something to the girls, but Bholi could understand nothing. She looked at the pictures on the wall. The colors fascinated her. The horse was brown, just like the horse on which the Tehsildar had come to visit their village. The goat was black, like the goat of their neighbor. The parrot was green, like the parrots she had seen in the mango orchard. And the cow was just like their Lakshmi. And suddenly Polly noticed that the teacher was standing by her side, smiling at her. What's your name, little one? Bub Bo Bo. She could stammer no further than that. Then she began to cry, and tears flowed from her eyes in a helpless flood. She kept her head down as she sat in her corner, not daring to look up at the girls who, she knew, were still laughing at her. When the school bell rang, all the girls scurried out of the classroom, but Polly dared not to leave her corner. Her head still lowered, but she kept on sobbing. Polly, the teacher's voice was soft and soothing. In in all her life, she had never been called like that. It touched her heart. Get up, said the teacher. It was not a command, but just a friendly suggestion. Boli got up. Now tell me your name. Sweat broke out over her whole body. Would her stammering tongue again disgrace her? For the sake of this kind woman, however, she decided to make an effort. She had such a soothing voice. She would not laugh at her. Bhuh, 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 bhuh. She began to stammer. Well done, well done. The teacher encouraged her. Come on, now the full name. Bhuh, 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 bholi. At last she was able to say it and felt relieved as if it was a great achievement. Well done, the teacher patted her affectionately and said, put the fear out of your heart and you will be able to speak like everyone else. Boli looked up as if to ask, really?
Okay. Now, the first time when the girl entered into the class, the environment, the pictures on the wall, the teachers, he could see all other things like, outside the school, the horse, the parrot, which was there in the mango orchard, the black goat. Everything was very fascinating for the girl, and the girl was actually loving that open environment and the school environment also. Now, when the girl entered into the class, the teacher, in a very polite, very soft voice, she asked her, what's your name, little one? Now, because Holly could not speak, she stammered. She was not able to tell her name. Now, more than her problems of being ugly or being not wise or being of her disability to speak, one thing which she suffered the most was confidence, because she was not loved by anyone in the house. She was not taken care of, right? So she lacked confidence. Now, this teacher, when she asked her Bholi's name, Bholi was not able to reply back properly. She stammered, and then she started crying, and she didn't even look up because she knew that other girls would be laughing at her. Now, the bell rang, and the girls moved out of the classroom. Right? They hurried out of the classroom. Bholi was sitting all alone. Now, this lady, this teacher, she was really a kind and a sweet one. Here we see the role of a teacher also. We generally say mother is the first teacher and the teacher is the second mother, right? And it's very true. In this case, in this story, we find the teacher here who's playing the role of the first mother. These things should have been done by Bholi's mother, but perhaps she never cared for the girl. Here we find the teacher when everybody went out of the class in a very friendly tone. She said, what's your name? Tell me your name. And Bholi was stammering again because now it was for the first time she felt that somebody was talking to her in such a polite manner, not in that commanding tone, right? So Bholi tried. And when she tried, she was able to speak up her name properly. She said Bholi. So teacher in that affectionately tone, she said that dear, if you put away your fear, you'll be able to speak up just like everyone else does. Right? So Bholi looked at her as if she was questioning her, really? Means that love, that affection, which was missing in her life, which her parents didn't give her. Now the teacher was concerned about her and she expressed that affection for her. And the girl, somewhere, she was, getting motivated to do things just like all other children, normal children would do. I think time, we are just having 1 2 minutes. Let's finish off this particular stanza till read and find out. Sahej, yahan tak complete kar lo beta.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, it will be very easy. You just come to school every day. Will you come? Bholi nodded. No, say it aloud. Yeah, yeah, yes. And Bholi herself was astonished that she had been able to say it. Didn't I tell you? Now take this book. The book was full of nice pictures, and the pictures were in color: dog, cat, goat, horse, parrot, tiger, and a cow, just like Lakshmi. And with every picture was a word in big black letters. In 1 month, in 1 month, you will be able to read this book. Then I will give you a bigger book, then a still bigger one. In time, you will be more learned than any